So how do you use short circuit evaluation and ternary operators in React? Well, you use them just like this. This right here, these are two examples of short circuit evaluation. This is just a simple app where it greets you based on the time of day that I have defined right here. So if it's morning, it will say morning and render the good morning component. If it's night, it'll say good night and render the good night component. For example, like that. How is this working? Well, it's just using this one statement here, which is basically very familiar to people who already know about JavaScript. So this right here is the AND operator, and if it finds something to be true, like this statement, it will execute whatever is right here on this side of the statement. So time of day, does it equal morning? Yes? Well, then render this. Does time of day equal night? No, it doesn't, it's false. So don't render this. It's basically just checking to see, hey, is this true? Like for example, if I just write true, nothing will change. But if I put true here as well, because it's just checking to see if that's true on that side, you will see both. But it's not really true. I just did that to show you how this works right here. Just basically saying if this is true, do this. Alright, so let's change both of these back. Alright, so that's a short circuit evaluator. Short circuit evaluation. Now, you can also use something called a ternary operator to do conditional rendering. So I could turn this statement actually, right here, what we're trying to do here, into just a one-liner. All I would have to do is write my condition, and then write a question mark. So right now it's saying if this is true, do this. But I also need an else. So if this is true, do this. If it's not true, do this. So right now it's saying morning, and so this is morning, and it's good morning. If I say the time of day is night, well, it's not morning, so I have to do whatever the other condition is, and that is night, say good night. So that is how you use short circuit evaluation and ternary operators. Where you can make this even more useful is if you use your ternary operators in CSS styling, so that your view here changes based on the data as well. And that can be really cool for like subtler little things like mobile responsiveness or little tweaks based on user preference. So let me go ahead and take this out and use the evaluators, short circuit evaluators we were using before. And I'll show you a quick example of what I was talking about. So right now it's only good morning or good night. But let's say I wanted to do something in the middle, like good afternoon. And it should say good afternoon, of course. But let's say I also want this component to be a brighter yellow, like bright afternoon yellow, because the sun is really bright in the afternoon. Well, first I'd have to go into my component here and give it a props, because I would actually like this component to change based on the time of day as well. So I'm giving it a props object, and I am going to go ahead and pass the prop in here. We can call it time of day as well, to be very simple. Time of day, exactly like we had it. And so now I can change the content of this component based on the prop. So if props time of day equals morning, say good morning. Otherwise, otherwise say good afternoon. So let's go ahead and give that a test. Oh, and we have to change one more thing here. So right now this is only checking for the condition if the time of day is morning. But we also now need to check to see if it's potentially afternoon. And since we're using the or statement, if this is true or if this is true, the statement will proceed and render this component. That's just how or statement works. So now since it's afternoon, the good morning component will say good afternoon because it is in fact afternoon. To change the color as well, I can do something very similar. I can just take the color that it was before. I can enter this condition that we were using. If what is the props time of day, basically. I can insert it right here. I can say, all right, if the props time of day is morning, make the color this. And if it's afternoon, or basically not morning, make it very bright yellow. And so now you can see we have a little bit more of a dynamic and responsive application. So if it's morning, it'll give me a pale yellow, good morning, sun is just rising. It's afternoon, good morning, good afternoon. It's not morning anymore, it's super yellow and bright outside. And if it's nighttime, it's just good night. So, you know, you might, if you're making this a little bit more mobile responsive, you might say if window size or screen height or whatever width is so-and-so on the device, then choose certain display, and if it's not, if the height is greater or lower than something, make it another display so that it has a better display on desktop and a better display on mobile. So that's kind of how you use short circuit evaluation and ternary operators in React. And if you want to play around with this for yourself, you can just check out my GitHub here and download the code for yourself. So thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed, please subscribe, like, and comment.